Hello everyone, welcome to a new reading video. Today we are going to do a friendship reading between Jihyo and Nayeon because I want to know how they get along, and I want to come back with something simple to kind of like ease my way back into recording videos and editing and all of that. So let's just kind of jump into this reading, and the first card that we're going to take out is going to represent what type of connection Nayeon and Jihyo have. So we have Gemini. So this kind of shows that they both have they're either very similar or very compatible, as in like they're able to when someone's lacking something, the other one is able to compensate over that. So they kind of have this very well balanced relationship and power dynamics where one may be afraid of something, well then the other one encourages the other, or vice versa. If one of them is very good at something, and the other one may need some help with those skills that, the strengths and weaknesses that they have kind of like balance each other out somehow. Also, with this Gemini energy, kind of shows that the type of connection that they have is one that is very heavy in communication. So they understand each other very well, or they do a very good job at trying to understand each other through words mainly. So their form of communication is one where even their nonverbal cues are something that they both have been able to learn from each other and understand each other. Now, this could have been because they both worked towards trying to understand each other as much as it was just something that came very naturally. Either way, they have reached this point where their connection, they are able to have conversations and just kind of know and already have a very good understanding where the other one's coming from and what their opinion is on things, on topics, and on situations. So this Gemini energy kind of shows that they just have a very rich form of communication. Now let's take out our next cards, and these cards will represent each person in this relationship. So the first card is going to represent Nayeon. Well, I'll take the bottom one. We have the Two of Wands reversed. And then this next card will represent Jihyo. We have the Six of Cups. So the card that represents Nayeon is the Two of Wands reversed. So this kind of shows that in this relationship, Nayeon may be someone that is quite hesitant in thinking big, or maybe she finds it very difficult to feel completely comfortable in her own space. Like there's something that she's always lacking, there is something that she's always aiming for. Like Nayeon could be the type of person that has very big goals and finds it very difficult to think of like the baby steps to slowly accomplish a goal. So she may usually feel overwhelmed, or she may find it very difficult to because I'm getting that it could be two things. I think I know what I'm getting at now. Nayeon in this relationship is a type of person that has two modes. She has goals that are like her lifetime goals, so they're very big goals. I said the word like 3 times in a row. So they're very big dreams and very time consuming, and they're goals that are very meaningful to her, very valuable, but it's not a very like straightforward dream that she can like accomplish. But then she also has these times where all she can think of is the present moment. So there's no in between. There's like, Nayeon has these moments where she wants to kind of like reach for the stars. And then at the same time, she's only thinking of like her routine at the present moment. So she may find it very difficult to fill in this gap between what her routine is today and what she can do today. So what's within her control at the present moment, and how to slowly build up to those big goals that she has in mind. So I think this Two of Wands is kind of showing, since it's reversed, it's kind of showing that in this relationship, Nayeon may be someone that likes to share what her dreams are, and also share like her frustrations in building that ladder between where she's at right now and those very big goals that life goals that she has in life. On the other hand, we have the Six of Cups for Jihyo. So this kind of shows that in this relationship, Jihyo is someone that likes to think about the past and reminisce about like the good old days. There might be a lot of times that they have conversations about how things were back in the day, like maybe their training days, or maybe their childhoods, like they like to talk about their family or they like to talk about their past and maybe how they have grown through that and from that. Also with this Six of Cups, I have a feeling that Jihyo may, at least in this connection, Jihyo may feel like she has seen, like when she met Nayeon, she may have felt like, I feel like I've known her for quite a while, or maybe at this point they have reached a time in their lives where they feel like they know each other very, very well and have created a very familial type of connection or relationship where they feel very comfortable with each other, where they feel like they can share with each other about things about their past, the things that they are aiming for in the future, and where they're at, where they are at right now. I'm trying to get my words together. But let's go on to the next question and figure out how do they see each other. So how does Nayeon see Jihyo? We have 2 cards. And then how does Jihyo see Nayeon? We also have 2 cards. So we have the Page of Cups reversed and the Hermit from Nayeon's side, and from Jihyo's side we have the Devil and the Emperor. We have some big cards because we have 3 Major Arcana out of the 4, so that's why I think that's very interesting. So from Nayeon's part, she sees Jihyo as someone that is very reserved, someone that kind of keeps to herself, and also her emotions are very guarded. Her heart is like, she has very big walls that are kind of hard to like jump over, and it may be a bit challenging or difficult to get to know Jihyo in a deep level. So I'm saying this because we have the Page of Cups reversed, so this kind of shows that Nayeon may find it kind of difficult to fully not understand, but like get Jihyo to open up about what she's feeling at the moment or what's bothering her or anything along those lines. Nayeon finds it very challenging to get Jihyo to open up. The other thing that makes me think that as well is the Hermit card. The Hermit card usually talks about someone that goes in isolation under their own accord, and they do that to get to know themselves better and to have this form of enlightenment. And that enlightenment is supposed to be about self-knowing. And I have a feeling that Nayeon sees Jihyo as someone that has a very guarded heart, that may be very difficult to get to know her in that depth. However, Jihyo is also someone that is always trying to improve herself and her person. She is someone that is usually on her own because she's deep in thought or trying to improve on either her skills or as a person. She's trying to evolve constantly. So I think Nayeon sees or really admires how Jihyo, even though she may like to keep to herself, it's not necessarily because she doesn't like people. It's not because she doesn't want to deal with anyone or because she's bothered by anyone. It's more because of Jihyo's like natural way of wanting to always improve and be better, and she just kind of needs her own time to not be influenced by other people's opinions, ideas, or situations, and be able to kind of just focus on herself. So if anything, I think Nayeon sees Jihyo as someone that is extremely focused, and it is someone that is very loyal to who they are as an individual, and that's why they, Nayeon sees Jihyo as someone that really values her own time and her own space. On the other hand, Jihyo sees Nayeon as someone that, well, here we have Capricorn and Aries energy, so someone that is like a leader, someone that likes to take the initiative, someone that likes to just go at their own rhythm, at their own pace. Jihyo sees Nayeon as an individual who is very aware of how society works and is also very aware of her own limits. Now I'm saying it that way because to me the devil has always represented society. It has always represented how someone may be blinded or may hold themselves back based on like the unspoken rules that our culture or society or our immediate environment kind of just naturally locks us in. Now I'm saying it that way because I feel that Jihyo sees Nayeon as someone that knows how to work within those limitations and also knows when to break free from those limitations. So again, someone that is a leader, someone that knows how to pick their battles, someone that is aware of their own limits and their own fears and the things that hold them back. The Emperor is supposed to symbolize someone that's very stable. It is a number 4. But also, the Emperor is supposed to show someone that knows when to take action. It is someone that is in a meditative state of sorts, in the sense like the Emperor is not moving, but it's supposed to symbolize someone that has great power from within, and they're able to take action when they feel is the right time or whenever the opportunity rises. But in this case, I do feel that Jihyo just sees Nayeon as someone that has a lot of potential, someone that is a very powerful individual, and someone that is not afraid to just kind of do their own thing at their own time. But also, Jihyo is able to recognize the weaknesses that Nayeon has, and actually admires that Nayeon is aware of those same weaknesses, and it doesn't allow those weaknesses to stop her or hold her back, but instead she's just kind of aware that there will be times that she will have to overcome those fears if she ever needs to reach like a next level in her life or something along those lines. Now let's go on to the next thing and see how do they like to spend their time together. So the card that came out is Neptune. So they like to talk about their dreams. They like to daydream together. So there might be times when either they're having conversations and they're inspiring each other for the future and trying to like hype each other up and like try to motivate each other for the things that they want to do in life. But there might be times when, if they ever reach silence, or they reach these periods of like comfortable silence, or just they're comfortable with each other, there will be times where they kind of just stop and just enjoy the silence to start daydreaming and like visualizing their life. Because Neptune does talk about dreams, like the dreams that you have when you sleep. It also talks about illusions or mystery or things that cannot be seen clearly. So in this case, I'm focusing more on the daydream part of things, right? So they like to spend their time together to clear their thoughts as well. That will explain why the Devil card is here and why the Hermit card is here. They usually spend their time in a way where they both kind of come out of a conversation, or when they walk away from each other, they have learned something new, or they have gotten that piece of information that they needed to complete a cycle or to be able to overcome something in their lives. So when they spend their time together, Jihyo is in a meditative state that allows her to get to know herself better, so almost like a mirror that reflects back. And Nayeon is able to kind of see where she's lacking or where she is allowing other like external influences hold her back. So I think they may have these conversations where they gain clarity from them and allows them to move forward, because they're able to kind of either point each other's weaknesses, or they're able to talk things through, and that's when they both kind of realize, oh, this is what's bothering me. So they tend to either have conversations or have these periods of silence that bring them peace and clarity, basically. Now on to the next question. So what does Nayeon like about Jihyo? A lot of cards came out. I think I'll just take the bottom card. Bloop. And what does Jihyo like about Nayeon? How many do we have? A bunch. I'll take this one. The one that just kind of flew over there. So the thing that Nayeon likes about Jihyo is the Chariot reverse. And Jihyo likes Nayeon with this Nine of Swords. Okay. I think, based on what we just talked about with this Neptune energy, the thing that they like about each other is that they have a relationship where they can both kind of put their guard down, or they're able to talk about the things that they find very challenging. So with the Chariot reverse, Nayeon likes how Jihyo is not impulsive. She is someone that takes action and thinks things through carefully before charging forward, because the Chariot is supposed to symbolize someone that feels very confident, that feels victorious, that feels accomplished, and all of those emotions kind of fuel this individual to take action and just move forward, to take charge and like take the reins and control of their life and just do something, right? The Chariot is like a card that talks about movement, and it is action orientated. Also, the Chariot is Cancer energy. So That's why there's a crab right there. Anyway, but this card being reversed kind of shows that Nayeon likes how Jihyo is not impulsive, it's not reckless, and also is someone that is very cautious when she takes action. I do feel that there's quite a lot of positive things, but one of the things that I also wanted to mention is that Nayeon likes how Jihyo comes to her when she feels stuck or when she feels stagnant or when she's at crossroads. Because the chariot reverse could be talking about someone that is not moving forward in their life because they don't know like what to do, they don't know what action to take, or they don't know what path to embark on. So this card reverse kind of shows that Nayeon may really appreciate or really likes how Jihyo comes to her when she feels stagnant. Now, on the other hand, there's something similar here. Jihyo likes how Nayeon is not afraid to talk about the things that she's afraid about or what she fears. Because the Nine of Swords talks about stress, it talks about waking up from a nightmare. That's why we see the bed right here, and this person in distress is supposed to show someone that kind of wakes up from a very stressful situation or, again, a nightmare. So the thing that Jihyo likes about Nayeon is that Nayeon is not afraid to express when she's stressed and talk about the things that stress her. And I think Jihyo really likes how Nayeon is not guarded and is able to just kind of tell her, vent to her and like rant, like this is what's bothering me, this is what annoys me. And I think Jihyo really likes that Nayeon is able to rely on her and she likes that she's able to be of support to Nayeon as well. Now, also with this Nine of Swords, I think Jihyo really likes how Nayeon is, again, very good at identifying the things that hold her back and also very good at expressing the things that she doesn't like about things. So this could be very important because I have a feeling that, Jihyo being the leader of her group, she may ask like, okay, so what are we going to do? Do you like this? Do you not like this? Right? And I think Nayeon is someone that is pretty vocal about the things that, her opinions, and by expressing those opinions, good or bad, it gets the energy moving. And I think Jihyo really likes that about Nayeon, that she's able to express the things that she doesn't like, the things that she does like, and is not afraid of just saying the truth exactly how it is. And I think those are things that Jihyo really values because, again, they do have a relationship where communication is very important, or it's like the main focus. So I do feel that the way that they talk to each other is something that I guess they like about each other, the honesty. Let's see. The next question. So, what have they learned about each other? So in this case, what has Nayeon learned from Jihyo? We have one card, which is the Tower reverse. I said that, but for whatever reason, I feel like I didn't say it right. And what has Jihyo learned from Nayeon? We have the Five of Swords. Okay, I'm laughing because I was thinking, usually when the cards come out, I start thinking, okay, what does the cards usually mean? And then I start connecting it to like, okay, how does the meaning of the card fit with the things that we have seen so far with the person I'm reading for or about? And I just laughed with the Five of Swords. Anyway, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's jump to the Tower card reverse. So the thing that, how should I put it? The thing that Nayeon has learned from Jihyo, the Tower card is Mars energy. It talks about a spark or an epiphany that triggers change. It could be a quite destructive energy, but it's supposed to be a form of rebirth as well. It's like getting rid of anything that does not work and anything that is not meant to stay in their life. There being whoever we're talking about. So the thing that Nayeon has learned from Jihyo is to, I'm getting two things. The first thing is that Nayeon has learned how to identify when she's about to go through a tower moment. And by that I mean that Nayeon is able to kind of identify when she's about to have to encounter some baggage and let go of it. And then the other thing is that she has learned how to not resist the tower moment. So I guess if she's able to see, because there's, when you reach a tower moment, it's like a period in your life. This is something that you have to go through in your lifetime, and you may go through it multiple times, for different reasons or different situations. But the whole point is that Nayeon has learned from Jihyo how to identify this and not be afraid of encountering such a situation or being in such a place in her life. So she's able to realize, okay, when she's about to reach this epiphany, or when she's about to get this spark of change, that's when she goes like, oh, that dread comes in of, oh, I will have to let go of things that do not work in my life. It may be people, it may be situations, it may be things, or even ways of thinking that, it's kind of like one of the things that we mentioned earlier with the Two of Wands reversed was that Nayeon kind of struggles to create the in between, or create this ladder of being able to move from where she's currently at and slowly reach those life goals that she has in mind. So this Tower card reverse kind of shows that when she's ready to create change and when she's ready to take action to accomplish those goals, or to move forward and trying to get to like that end goal, she has learned from Jihyo how to not be afraid of change. She has learned how to identify change and actually prepare for it rather than run away from it or resist it. So I do feel that this Tower reverse is not necessarily a bad energy at all, as much as it is an energy of Nayeon may be the type of person that doesn't really like change, doesn't really like to take actions and like action towards letting go of something, or she may find a lot of comfort with like things that she currently has in life. She may find it also very comforting to just kind of stay with the same situation, the same people. Change may be something that she doesn't really enjoy, or even if she likes change, it's something that usually scares her. And I think this is natural for a lot of people. However, this is being highlighted. So this kind of shows that whenever Nayeon goes through a period of change, or she goes through a period of like purging energies that don't match with her anymore, she kind of learn from Jihyo how to handle situations like those, and how to kind of ride those waves and overcome those situations by having like a cool mind and trying to stay calm through such a drastic change. Again, is the ability to learn how to let go of something, embracing change, and just moving forward, basically. Now, on the other hand, the thing that Jihyo has learned from Nayeon is this Five of Swords. And usually the Five of Swords talks about winning at all costs. It talks about, winning a battle, but maybe not the war necessarily. It's the vibes of someone that has been victorious in a situation, and in the background you usually have two people are kind of walking away defeated. And it's usually the warning of like, be careful, because those people can always come back and want revenge or something along those lines. That's why it's like winning a battle, but not the war. Now, the Five of Swords usually talks about change. Five is always about change. But the Five of Swords talks about maybe, I was going to say a change of vibe, which I'm not too sure why that came up, but that could be significant. Now, for Jihyo, this means that the thing that she has learned from Nayeon is how to, and this is why I laughed, is not to feel guilty about beating people up. I don't mean this literally. I mean this because I don't have, lack of better words. It's like Jihyo learned from Nayeon how to not feel guilty about her own success. That's the best way I can put it. So, there are times, let's say there's a competition and Jihyo wins. Of course, there's people that lose. And that's the thing that she kind of, maybe Jihyo feels very guilty, or maybe she feels like, why can't we all win? Why is it that when I want to accomplish my dreams, someone out there may suffer just because I'm happy, or may suffer? She may feel like this thing where when she accomplishes something, she's taking away from somebody else. Like, if, I don't know, maybe Jihyo finds it, there's some people that find it very difficult to win because they feel guilty, or they feel bad, or they feel like, oh, I took away somebody else's win, or I took away somebody else's opportunity. So this Five of Swords kind of shows that Jihyo learned from Nayeon how to get rid of that guilt, how to feel deserving of her victories and of her success. I do feel Nayeon is someone that is very honest and very straightforward. Again, we have the Nine of Swords, so she's not afraid of saying things how they are. She's very blunt, and she likes to be very honest and truthful about things. So whenever Jihyo may have felt in a situation where she felt like she robbed someone of their dream of, or by just her being happy and being a successful woman, she just kind of took somebody else's abundance or something, right? And when Jihyo ever feels guilty about that, she will remember Nayeon's words of like, do not feel guilty, just because, this is your path, this is your success, embrace it, be happy, be proud. So I do feel that this Five of Swords, this is the most positive wave I've ever seen the Five of Swords. So in this case, it kind of shows that kind of fits with that Capricorn energy with a Devil, right? Again, Nayeon is someone that is a leader. She is someone that she puts herself first. Not in a selfish way, but in the, I need to prioritize what I want, what I desire in my own actions, right? As we saw with the Emperor and the Devil. So with that vibes that Nayeon carries, naturally what she could learn from her was to not be afraid to put herself first, to prioritize her dreams, her goals, and to be proud of her success and her wins. Something along those lines. Now, to end off this reading, to wrap it up, let's get the last card, which is the reason as to why Nayeon and Jihyo met. Why did they meet? We have Pluto. Okay, so we have 2 water cards right here now that I think about it. So this Pluto energy is all about transformation. It's about change. It's about having a sense of rebirth. It is extreme transformation. So this kind of shows that the reason that they met was to kind of tell each other the harsh truths. It was to be able to stand hand in hand through very rough situations. We did have quite a lot of Mirror Arcana. We have, if I know how to count, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So we have 5, which is kind of like half of this reading. When we count the tarot, of course. So this kind of shows that they're very influential to each other, and when there's change, when there's a need for something different or to improve as individuals, they're usually there for each other, or they're like the trigger for the other one to change, or they're like the mirror that reflects the things that have to be changed, the things that they like about each other and they don't like about each other. You know how there's times that you have a conversation with someone and it inspires you, or you have a conversation with someone and they kind of make you realize your shortcomings, or they make you realize the things that you don't like, either about yourself or your situation or about anything. Or when you talk to someone and then you feel like encouraged to move forward with all of the change that you're going through, or you find the courage to start doing something different in your life. I think that the reason that they met was to be that sort of, the word catalyst came up, but I'm not too sure what it means, but to be like this, to be a mirror for each other, to encourage and help each other to change and transform. And also, when I mean help each other, I don't necessarily, I mean help each other begin change, but also help each other like ride the wave of change, and also help each other recognize the things that they need, as well as the things that they're lacking when they're going through these transformations as individuals, or as, when they're like evolving as a person, but as well when they're going through changes of improving their lifestyle and their situation, their mind. All of these things that require a form of self-improvement, or just involve taking action towards something different. That's usually where they're there for each other. So, yeah. I hope you guys like this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I thought this was quite interesting because I didn't know what to expect from the type of relationship that they have, but I do feel that there's quite a lot of honesty here for each other. There is a lot of water, at least for like when we look at the cards in the middle. Well, I guess this one's too. So there is a lot of like emotions are involved, going with the flow and taking things easy. And there's a lot of honesty that they have with each other, which I find very, very, I was going to say interesting, but then I was going to say nice, but then I was going to say something along the lines of reassuring. Like, I don't know what the best word will be, but I find that it's very nice to have someone that they can like be completely honest with, very open about the challenges or difficulties that they may be encountering, because again, they encourage each other, but they're also like a mirror to each other to be like, see, this is where you're lacking, or these are your strengths, so kind of focus on that. Anyway, I will see you guys on the next one, whenever that is, however that is. Love and healing from my part to you, and I hope you found this interesting, or at least learn from it, whatever the case may be. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one.